So this beat up beauty is the iPhone 8 Plus in this stunning product red color, a true blast from the past from Apple, released all the way back in 2017, which truly were simpler times. And in a bid to grasp at those simpler times, I've switched to the 8 Plus for the last 2 weeks, and here are my thoughts. Alright, so design-wise, I like to think that this was a peak design period for Apple. The 8 Plus is one of my favorite designs from Apple, tied with the deep purple 14 Pro, at which point I think Apple lost their creativity, but we'll see how the 17 lineup goes. The 8 Plus, especially in this product red color, looks incredible in person from every angle. And this phone doesn't just look sleek, it's also super slim and feels great in the hand. You get aluminium side rails sandwiched in between glass, and despite it being so slim, it actually has a nice heft to it. Weighing in at 202 grams, this phone feels significant and premium in the hand. Now, you don't get the headphone jack, unfortunately, as with the iPhone 7 back in 2016. Oh man, remember when that was one of the biggest problems humanity faced? Cue 2020 and COVID. Anyway, the highlight of this phone design-wise for me is the product red color, and this darker shade of red in particular is one of my all-time favorites. You also get Touch ID, which I personally prefer over Face ID as it's just so quick and effective. Now you probably have noticed all the scratches on this phone, and well, I picked this phone up refurbished from my local electronics retailer for $90 USD, and that is part of the reason why I got it so cheap. It's funny though, because I did get a free case with my purchase, when really, the person who owned this phone before me could have benefited from it, instead of committing an assault on this absolute beauty. So, to the person out there who used this phone before me, I hope the toilet paper rips on your next wipe. Now, setting aside my grievances, let's talk about the performance. Now, performance here is actually still solid. Everything still feels very fluid, even though this phone is nearly 8 years old. The A11 Bionic chip coupled with 3 gigs of RAM was a powerful combination in the old days, and while that may not sound like much by today's standards, Apple's superb software optimization is truly what's keeping this thing running really quick. Now you will notice the occasional stutter and lag every now and then, but for the most part, navigating to and between apps feels decently quick. Most apps still run on this phone, but I don't really bother with many social media apps aside from YouTube and TikTok. Games still ran, albeit not perfectly, as a lot of newer games require more modern hardware. So while this phone's performance wasn't out of this world when it came to multimedia and games, it did however do an excellent job at just being a phone. All the utilities here work fine. I was able to make calls with overall good call quality when using the speaker piece or in speaker mode. Now the screen here is solid. You get a 5.5 inch LCD with a PPI of 401, and even in 2025, it's really nice. The screen gets decently bright and is surprisingly sharp. I found that especially when scrolling through web pages, all manner of text always looked sharp. Alright, let's talk about the camera system. Now out the back, you get a 12 megapixel f1.8 wide sensor and a 12 megapixel f2.8 telephoto. Now up front you get a 7 megapixel f2.2 sensor, and I gotta say, taking photos on the 8 Plus felt kinda nostalgic, especially when you're using the older camera app. And I gotta say, the photos you can actually get out of the 8 Plus in good lighting still hold up even by today's standards. In plenty of light, photos come out well detailed with nicely balanced exposure and solid performance when capturing shots with high dynamic range. Honestly, I had no trouble shooting great shots with the 8 Plus. Another thing Apple has always been good at is the computational photography, which really aids in producing some great shots, even on older hardware. Now low light shots here aren't great, but they are passable, and this phone honestly exceeded my expectations in certain shots. While low light shots were softer overall, some detail, especially in the textures of buildings, was still retained, but there were times where shots looked a little underexposed. Honestly, what's truly amazing is how much the computational photography comes in and saves the aging hardware, especially in difficult shooting scenarios. Now, the battery life of the 8 Plus for me is its weakest point. Another reason I actually picked up this phone specifically is because as part of it being refurbished, it got a new battery, and so the battery health here is 100%. Now, despite this, I could easily kill this phone in a day with the average screen on time being about 3 to 4 hours on a single charge. Alright, so what is it actually like using an iPhone 8 Plus in 2025? Well, honestly, the iPhone 8 Plus is a great phone to use, and it offered me a good overall user experience. Now, I will mention that the iPhone 8 Plus's battery life is its weakest point, but I do think that that was also a good thing because it forced me to use this phone with purpose instead of aimlessly doom scrolling online. Honestly, if you don't really care about consuming content online and you don't really play games and you just want a phone that covers the basics, has the utilities, and has a good camera, then you will get some value out of this phone, especially since you won't be paying a fortune for it. But yeah, this has been my take on the iPhone 8 Plus in 2025. Definitely comment down below if you're planning on getting an iPhone 8 Plus. I'd love to hear your thoughts. But yeah, for now, it looks like we're out of time. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls in the next one.